When you try to map out these unpredictable market variables using standard spreadsheets, the structure often breaks down. This graphic details the gap in enterprise solutions. You quickly run into what are called unstructured problems. These are complex, multi-layered issues that require advanced integrative solutions rather than basic routine analysis. To solve them, you need a specialized tool, a decision support system, or DSS. And when a team of executives needs to reach a consensus, that scales up to a group decision support system, or GDSS. This diagram defines the core function of a GDSS. It is an interactive computer system designed specifically to facilitate group participation, not a passive dashboard you check once a week. Today, we will look under the hood. We are going to outline the exact step-by-step process required to build and deploy one of these systems from scratch. Before writing a single line of code or buying a server, we have to gather the necessary raw materials. This flowchart lays out the 5 core infrastructural elements of a DSS: hardware, software, people, networks, and the database. Notice that people and networks are featured prominently. They act as the vital bridge connecting raw computing power with actual human consensus. With those components established, we move into the actual roadmap, starting with Phase 1, initiation. Looking at this development lifecycle model, Step 1 of the initiation phase is the needs assessment. Here, you define the precise, unstructured problem your organization is trying to solve. From there, you secure top-level management support and draft a strict action plan with assigned roles. Do not purchase any software platforms at this stage. Buying tools before the problem is fully documented is the primary reason these systems fail. Once the initiation steps are approved, we move to Phase 2, conceptual design development. This is where you draft the theoretical blueprint. You outline exactly what the system will do and how it will guide the user toward a decision. This concept dictates all of the subsequent technical choices. The technology must serve the problem. Completing these 2 planning phases guarantees that your enterprise budget goes directly toward the right technological infrastructure. Now the planning ends and the physical construction begins in Phase 3, system development. This section of the lifecycle details the first half of Phase 3, physical system design. Here, we select the actual servers, software platforms, and interface structures based on our blueprint. Next, developers create and structure the specific databases that will feed information into the system. Then comes the most crucial element, model development. Programmers write the algorithms and logical frameworks required to process the incoming data. A common mistake is treating a DSS like a simple storage database. Model management is the active engine that applies logic to the data. That logic is what actively supports the decision-making process. Finally, following the path upward, we enter Phase 4, implementation and maintenance. The immediate technical step is the physical rollout. IT loads the chosen hardware and software into the enterprise environment. Following that, the finalized models are programmed into the system, and the databases are populated with live organizational data. But a flawless technical rollout means nothing if the staff refuses to use it. That is why the final steps mandate comprehensive system documentation and rigorous training for the personnel who will actually pilot the system. A successful DSS build is measured by one metric: a live system, utilized daily by trained staff, actively solving the problem you identified back in Phase 1. Let's look at the result of this 4-phase build from the perspective of the end user. This system architecture diagram traces the process. The user logs in through the user interface system to access the underlying capabilities. On the periphery, data management feeds raw information into the process, while model management applies the logical frameworks we programmed. At the center of the diagram, everything converges in the knowledge-based control mechanism. This acts as the brain, synthesizing the data and the models together for the user. This specific architecture takes chaotic, overlapping data and structures it into clear, strategic options. Review your own department's workflow today. Identify one unstructured problem that slows your team down and begin your Phase 1 needs assessment.